so we're at the Edgerton Center and we're going to learn about embroidery machines. So we have a Brother SE625 embroidery machine, which is also, it doubles as a sewing machine. So there's this attachment here. Underneath there's a, like you can feel there's like a clip thing. If you click it and then it just comes out. And when you want to sew things, you put this guy and it just snaps into place. But we're not doing that today, so we're going to just pull this guy out. There's no click for that, you just pull it out and then you just slide this guy on. Okay, so it's plugged in. I'm going to turn it on. And then it's going to say something like, if this guy here is a foot, this foot, if it's down like this, it's going to say, when you click on this, it says, raise the presser lever foot. And so the presser lever foot can be raised using this switch here. So I'm just going to push that up. It says, okay, now it says the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. So keep your hands clear. And so this guy's a carriage, and when I hit OK, it'll calibrate. So now we have a hoop here, and this hoop goes onto this guy, which I'll show in a minute, and then there's a locking hoop for your piece of fabric to be taut. Before we do that, I'm going to change out what's called the bobbin. So normally when you sew things, it turns out you actually need two pieces of thread on two different things, one of them on the spool and one of them in the bobbin. So I'm gonna change this bobbin thread from this color to white. And if you look on the embroidery machine, there's instructions for both how to wind the bobbin or insert a bobbin for the thread. So Dana, if you want to come over here and look at this. The bobbin is going to go in this way, so the thread's going around counterclockwise. And then it sits inside this little hole here. And then I'm going to follow the instructions here where I take it and I move it around this point here. And then I'm going to bend it around here. And then there's a little knife here where if I pull it taut, it's going to cut on that knife and then we can leave it like that. And then there's a little cover for the bobbin. Okay, so now we're going to move on to spooling the thread, which we'll do before we put in. So do we have a color thread we'd like to run with? Yeah, sure. So now we're going to put in the spool, and so the spool goes onto this holder here. If your spool is too large, we have a piece of wood that you can put a bigger spool onto, and it just needs to be loose, so you know, this could be sitting next to the machine and spinning. So I believe the direction doesn't matter, but we are missing a piece which holds the, there is a piece that goes here that holds this guy in place. So once you put this in here, so I'll untangle this wire. Oops. This guy just presses on to here, and you don't want to make it too tight, just like there, so it doesn't fall off, and so it's going to suspend. So now there's the stopper. Now we're going to take this thread and we're going to pass through each of these steps. So step 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to keep going until we get down to the needle. And yeah, the Q needle here should be okay for embroidering. So we have different feet. Here are our needles. Here it is. So we have a bag of all kinds of different feet for the embroidery machine. The one on there, actually, I believe is for... Okay, that's general purpose, so that one should be okay for embroidery as well. Okay. So, to follow the thread up here, I'm going to go to 1. So this one just wants you to basically pull it until it's in that loop. Then here we want to go around this post from behind, like that. And then part 3 involves going down this guy and looping below here. Then 4 means going back up. And then the important thing is there's this lever here where when you're embroidering or sewing, it's going to go up and down. So you want to make sure you hook it from the right side over to the left. So all the way behind and then board. So I don't think I got it. There we go. There we got it. So now from 5 we go to 6. We're 6 on here. Yeah, so eventually we're gonna get to this guy. So okay, yeah, 6.
Where's 6?
Good question. Where is 6 labeled? Ah, 6. Okay, yeah, 6 is going through this foot here. So it's hard to see, but it's on the metal. So see, there's this little this guy. So we just want to put this through behind it. Yep. So actually, sometimes if the string gets a little bit long, you might want to cut it, but like that. And then 7 is over here. And then we just sort of leave it like that, draped, and then we're going to press. Like that. Then we're going to press this guy, and it's going to wind the thing onto it, but we need to make sure the presser foot's down when you do that. So I'll do that again. So it's through 6 and then through 7 here, and then when you press this down, it cuts it, and now see it's been pulled through this loop. And so we just need.
So it's threaded?
Yeah, it's threaded it for us.
Wow.
So it does that automatically, and we just need to pull that guy through. Which is sometimes.
You'll get it.
There we go. Tricky, but we got it. So it's a bit long, so we'll cut that. Here. And so now it's threaded to the needle, and we can leave it like that.
Where's the foot?
So the foot is this guy, which we can raise to like go to that. So now we're gonna put the hoop in. We're gonna put our material into the hoop. So we need a piece of this backing for embroidering. So we did a previous embroidery of a bird, and when you finish, you pull off the rest of the paper, and you're left with a outline of what was embroidered there. So we could probably use this one, or we could use a new sheet. Do we have our fabric we're gonna? Visitor. Okay, so now we're gonna wind some top thread onto the bobbin in case you want to use the same color when you're embroidering. So you take your bobbin, you press it on here, and it's a press fit. And we're gonna follow much of the same steps for embroidering or sewing, except from step 3 we go to step 4 over here. So first I'm going to take this guy. Actually, we're going to cut it a little shorter so it's easier to handle the thread. And I'm going to take the thread, I'm going to pass it through this piece here. I'm just going to click in like that. Then I'm going to go through around 2. And then around 3 here, we're going to follow the instructions where we go below this foot and then around this turnstile. So if I can get it to go around, there we go. Sometimes using a finger to guide it is easy. So now I'm going to pull this towards the bobbin, and then we're going to follow the instructions here where we go in from the side away from this embroidery machine and wind it clockwise. And then we're going to take it with this guy turned this way, and we're going to take the thread and pass it through here like this. So, and then we can just let this thread dangle like this, and then what's going to happen is I believe the machine will auto detect, so we'll lower the presser foot, and then
you have to press this.
This guy, yes, we're going to press it this way. And then now this is orange, letting us know it's ready to wind. So press this, and it says winding bobbin. But it didn't go through. Let's try that one more time. Oh, it was not pressed all the way down. Let's redo this. So make sure this guy's pressed all the way, and then like so. Push this towards here.
Okay.
So So now we press this button and we'll start winding the bobbin. Yeah, I think starting at a couple of rounds was important to get the tension. And generally, it should stop when it hits this stop here, but we'll see.
Well, this stop is a cam, so you can make it different sizes.
So I remember, I think sometimes when the wire spool gets big enough, it pushes it back that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is saying. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Needed help.
Okay, so we're gonna put some of this fabric from this shirt, this work shirt in. We're gonna embroider across here, but I'm just gonna show you where this hoop goes. So with the foot pedal up, you can slide this underneath the needle, and then the two pegs here will just lock it to here. And then to remove it, you just press this, and then the hoop comes out. So now we're gonna take our backing paper. We'll put that down first. And we're gonna take our shirt, and I guess we'll do it. Yeah. So the hoop size is a little bigger than the area you can actually embroider. If we did it like this, it might go that way. So we have to do it like this. Make sure that it rotates. Yeah, okay, there's a way to rotate, so we can do it this way. Great. So we put this guy down. Maybe here-ish, you want to take our hoop. And the hoop has a arrow here, and that lines up with the arrow over here. So I'm gonna just get this roughly in position, and then afterwards we're gonna adjust the fabric to pull it tight. So there we go. Yeah, so it's actually, it can be sometimes kind of difficult to get in, but there we go. Now it's sandwiched in place, and I'm gonna tighten this a little bit, and I'm gonna try to, with the hoop still pressed down, I'm gonna try to pull on the shirt to get it to be caught in this region. That way it won't move around when we're embroidering. There we go. Okay. And then if you're careful, you can spend more time on this to get it to be where you want it. But I think that's about good enough. So we'll take this guy, and we're gonna have this guy on the side. Slide this underneath thing, and we're gonna hook it in to here. So it's hooked in, and then when we're gonna start embroidering, we're gonna bring this foot down like that. Okay. So now in here we have DIA. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna show you how to edit this. So go back, cancel. So from this menu, if you just want to embroider a standard pattern or someone's name, you can click on one of these. This is for the standard letters, and you can choose a font. Preference? That one. Okay, we'll do the fancy font, and we'll type in Diane. And okay, so we're outside of the frame, so what we need to do is to make the character small, or at least medium. Then, okay, let's make it small, just make sure it fits on the screen, and then we want to rotate it because this current view...
We need small letters.
Yeah, so this is small letters currently.
No,
so.
like capital and small.
Yes, you can go back and change that. So, yes. So you can go to lowercase by pressing this guy. So. Oh, okay. It's just done. So using this menu, you can go find the lowercase letters. There we go. And now we're gonna rotate it so that it's 90 degrees left, like so. And we might want to move this a little bit further to the right so that we're in that region. So this is a similar feature to the laser cutter where you can see the perimeter that you're going to cut. So I think this is good now, so we can end edit. And now if we press this guy, you can see the perimeter of Diane. So that's roughly in the position where we want it. So we'll go back to the
That's too
center.
small, though.
You want to make the letters
It
bigger?
has to be about 5 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches.
5 inches.
Like as if I was putting on the shirt. So can you make...
Oh, yeah, we can make this bigger, yes.
Yeah.
So if we go back, we can make the size, and then we can, well, let's just try making it medium. Yeah. You can also adjust it individually, but let's see. Okay, that's the corner. That's that corner. That's that corner.
Can you try large letters?
So I don't think large. We can try it. I think the large might be.
Okay. Can you scale it?
Yeah, we can scale it. So let's try large. See if this will fit. Yeah. Okay. So it's bigger than the hoop size.
Okay. So let's try scale.
56, 57. Oh, actually, it tells you the dimensions. So right now this is about 6 centimeters this way.
Sounds good.
So I'll make that 61. Okay, and then at this point, if you hit embroidery, we're gonna start to get into the menu for embroidering. So.
Are we ready?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
So we go to embroider. This is cut. You could put in the color of the thread here if you're doing multiple different colors. That's helpful, but here we're just doing one thread size, so it's fine. So push this down, and then you go and let's see. So this is changing how many threads back or forward you want to do in case you start and stop halfway. This guy, this is for if you're making embroider between the letters, it will try to automatically cut the thread for you. It doesn't always work, but it does try to do that for you. So I believe you just hit this guy. And you can control the speed of the embroidery machine using this guy here. Generally, you can stick with somewhere in the middle. If you really wanted to go fast or slow, you could tweak this. And then the tension of the thread will sometimes be determined by this guy, which can be important, but usually I keep it at 5 is a good number. And it will just go off and embroider.
This is shaking. Is that intentional?
Probably not by design, but it's plastic, so it could be better.
It's still pretty stable.
So yeah, so you can see that if we were careful, we could have used thread for the bobbin thread. And there's a whole thing for winding the bobbin that's up here. Now it's switching to the next letter, and so it should. Yep. So at that time it actually, so it didn't cut. So if you want to, you can pause it and you can go in and cut, but you need to do it afterwards.
Could you have made the letters bolder, thicker, kind of?
Yeah. You could change the thickness, yeah. Maybe not well, you can use one of the fonts that's bolder, or I'm not sure you can fold it using this menu, but you could do it. speed it up, we can try it. I think it's
okay.
just a matter of the
It's not a
stitch
big
count.
deal.
I'm planning on actually maybe this weekend I might take a home and do a thing with some friends where we're gonna make pillow throw cases and moistures. So I ordered a bunch of pillows and stuff like that.
Just one more letter. You realize I've done this whole video vertical?
It's like
I'm gonna show. I just hope my video editor is working vertical.
oh, yeah. So it's like an Instagram.
Make it square.
Yeah. Can we pay Morgan Freeman to dub over my voice and make me sound better?
Okay,
Let's
show
finish
us how to
embroidering.
remove it.
So you press OK.
Yeah.
Now you lift up the foot. Now we can.
This is actually the tricky part.
Yes, so we can take this guy off like this, so, and just slide it underneath. And then what you see on the back now is see where the bobbin thread went through, the embroidery paper will stick. Yeah. Sometimes this is quite there, and so you using
Pliers? Okay. Oh, okay. A screwdriver.
yeah, screwdriver. Makes it easier to. There we go.
Okay.
One more trim. Easier to get out. Okay, so we finished sewing or embroidering. We've taken it out of the hoop, and so now the backing paper can come off like this, and you can use the seam ripper to remove the stitches that are on the other side. So here we can take these off, and if you want to, you can even take the inside off. It depends on how picky you are, I guess. And I guess we should demonstrate the seam ripper. Which the seam ripper lives with the sewing machine supplies, and it lives inside this cap, and it's very sharp, so we want to keep it sharp and keep it away from fingers. So for example here where the machine wasn't able to cut, we can go underneath and make that cut, and then we can cut that with our sewing scissors. So we'll just cut between these, and one more. Oh, I punctured being very careful. Yep, and then we can take our very nice blue sewing scissors and clean up our things. So like here. So now we're gonna take out the other side of the backing paper, which I'm just gonna use this to help us lift. There we go. This piece of paper too. So in some cases, actually, I've seen with this sewing machine, you can actually do it without backing paper, but you need to have the right type of material underneath for that to work well. Otherwise
Maybe
it's,
denim or something.
yeah, exactly. Something that's very, like, already has a lot of purchase, I guess.
Cool.
And so, yeah, we have materials here. We have needles now. I bought some for sewing leather as well. So you could put thread into leather. We could have done leather jackets if we wanted to, but that would be a little extreme, I think. Maybe like leather aprons for the mentors. Like you can have your like tools on like the belt would be actually kind of cool.
Okay.
And now, yeah, that's our first shirt.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.